stars Insta-famous plastic surgeon accused of chop shop horrors. Judy had known Dr. Arian Maulavi for years, but at her appointment in November 2020, she sensed something was off. The 60-year-old preschool teacher had visited the Instagram-famous plastic surgeon's Laguna Beach office multiple times over the last 5 years and was returning that fall for a small, discreet liposuction procedure around her bra line. But this time, she says, the doctor pressured her to give him free rein, cajoling her into letting him remove skin as well as fat. Days later, when she pulled the foam rubber dressing off her incision, she knew she'd made the wrong call. Quote, "It smelled like you forgot a gym bag in the car for a while with a wet towel in it. Lord, Lord, Lord." After more than a week of excruciating pain, Judy collapsed in her home and was rushed to the emergency room. Her vital signs crashing from multi-system organ failure in her kidneys, lungs, liver, and heart. At one point, she said doctors called her family together to say their goodbyes. She remained in a medical coma for more than 2 weeks. Even after waking, she had to stay in the hospital for 2 months as doctors removed necrotic tissue from her back. That's dying tissue. "My injuries looked like I'm a shark bite victim," she said. 3 years later, Judy, who asked to use a pseudonym for privacy and fear of retaliation, is still grappling with the harrowing ramifications of Maulavi's surgery, including heart failure. But what's worse, she says, is that other patients have met the same fate. How is this character still practicing? "He didn't even slow down after my surgery," Judy said. "He just kept going and more people got hurt. It's just callous disregard. Where did he get his degrees?" Maulavi, a 52-year-old board-certified plastic surgeon, is a University of California, Berkeley graduate with more than 500 published articles, 81,000 Instagram followers, and more than 10,000 surgeries to his name. Are they real or did he pay for them? He is also the focus of a growing number of gruesome legal complaints. I'd say that's about right, given what happened to our girl. A December 2021 class action suit by more than 30 former patients alleges that Maulavi groped them in the exam room, made lewd comments about their bodies, permanently altered their bodies without their consent, and gave some of them life-threatening infections. The Orange County District Attorney's Office filed a lengthy civil case against him this summer, seeking millions in damages. In one case, according to court filings, a patient was unalived shortly after being released from his care. What? Maulavi's license to practice was suspended for 3 months by the California State Medical Board over the patient's unaliving in 2022, and he remains on probation. I mean, he is also in the process of filing for bankruptcy. Yeah, but Maulavi is still actively courting new patients and is not required to disclose his probationary status or mounting legal challenges to potential new clients, to the outrage of several of his alleged victims. Oh my goodness. Well, we're going to share this information here, so at least you know this dude's name if you're shopping for a doctor. Maulavi's lawyers did not respond to a request for comment for this story, which is based on hundreds of pages of court documents and interviews with 4 former patients and 2 former employees. In a declaration attached to a defamation lawsuit against a former patient, Maulavi said he had never been found liable for medical malpractice and that a patient had never become unalive on his operating table just after, allegedly, in my opinion. Quote, "I'm disgusted and sad that this monster is still out there and still butchering people," said Millie Martini, a patient of Maulavi who has filed her own lawsuit. "I'm mad that the state allows him to continually destroy lives physically, mentally, and financially." She added, "Arian Maulavi, just turn yourself in and face your victims." Growing up in moneyed Orange County, Maulavi was an ambitious student who graduated at the top of his already competitive high school class. He delivered the commencement address for his class at UC Berkeley, where he graduated Phi Beta Kappa, obtained his medical degree from the University of California, San Diego. At age 18, he told an Orange County Register reporter he'd wanted to be a doctor since the first time he saw an ambulance as a child. But why the choice to do cosmetic surgery? If you wanted to be a doctor so bad, is it about the helping people or is it about the money? And he don't want to stop collecting those coins. He in a rush, in my opinion, to get them all, like Pokemon. I wanted to know how they felt, he said at the time. Just think, they know they're about to save someone's life. That's unbelievable. Well, not everybody made it out healthy, whole, and walking around. What happened, Malavi? As Malavi's career progressed, his personal brand blossomed. By the time he opened his plastic surgery practice in Laguna Beach, Malavi had branded himself Dr. Laguna, touting himself as a sculptor of the human form. His book, High Definition Liposuction, describes him as one of the top body sculptors around the world, and his outcomes as beautiful, majestic, and real masterpieces, right? A career built off of women's self-doubt and altering women's bodies, in my opinion. In surgery videos on social media, Malavi describes how the naked patient on his operating table wanted more pop or magic. His specialty was VASER, Vaser liposuction, and Brazilian butt lifts, and he developed a personal scale for classifying patients' backsides and the derrieres he wanted to achieve. In one video, he remarks on a patient's deformed belly button and declares her rear end a 3 or a 4. Can you see how misogynist this is at its core? No disrespect. Harmony Williams, who worked as a surgical coordinator for Malavi in 2018, described her former boss as larger than life, a salesman obsessed with boosting his image and making as much money as possible. She said Malavi acted almost as if he were on a reality show, swinging between exaggerated motivational talks and violent anger, and making loud, crude remarks about his staff and patients. More than one former patient described Malavi as acting, quote, like a bad used car salesman. At first I thought maybe this was how plastic surgery was, Williams told the Daily Beast, but it didn't take me very long to figure out, no, this doesn't feel right. This isn't right. This is not normal. I actually nicknamed it the Chop Shop because I was trying to deal with working there. She added, I was like, I can't stay in this chop shop. I have to go. The problems at Malavi's practice started in the exam room, where he allegedly forced patients to strip naked, grab their bodies, and made unsolicited comments about their appearances. Sowing self-doubt, in my opinion, according to the class action suit and the DA's complaint. One 16-year-old patient identified in the amended class action as MP said Malavi boasted he would make her look so hot and that she would look like a model as he pinched and shook parts of her naked body. Another patient, identified as JH, said that while Malavi was marking her naked body, he told her, quote, you should have seen the whale I did surgery on yesterday, unquote. She said that when she chastised the doctor for his comment, he laughed and said, what? She was a disgusting, and she was a whale, unquote. The women alleged Malavi would use these consultations to upsell them on procedures, pointing out their flaws and evangelizing his quick fixes. According to Williams, the staff often looked up patients' home values on Redfin before appointments to determine how much they could spend. One woman, BC, said she went to Malavi for liposuction on her arms, but that he made her stand fully naked in front of a mirror, grabbed and pulled at her body, and told her her flanks were the real problem. Another woman who went to Malavi for a breast lift and a mini tummy tuck said that Malavi asked her unsolicited questions about her labia, prodding, doesn't that bother you? We're just going to cut the lips and stitch it up. Lord, Lord, Lord. Shalene Johnson, a former fitness influencer and former patient of Malavi who is part of the class action, told the Daily Beast that the doctor groped her repeatedly during a consultation, grabbing and lifting her breasts and lower stomach just above her vagine to demonstrate the promised results of the surgery.